Well, guys, OBS is screwing me over pretty good right now. If you look around, you can see I don't have my fancy stuff going in the background. In fact, when we try to switch to the browser here, you'll see there's black all on the side. Stuff I basically I made the mistake of updating OBS, and you know what it said? It said, "Screw you, Vaughn. Why don't we, when you resize everything so you can do the screenshots, the captures of Netflix or whatever, and then you want to bounce back to host stuff instead of just quickly hitting resize and get everything back to where you put it, why don't you manually arrange that on the fly every single time now? Is that what we're doing now? Is that why every time I close OBS, it says didn't close properly, or do you want to restart it in safe mode? So everything is a disaster. I want to get into the streaming, the Game Awards. I know we don't have a lot of faith in the Stream Awards. This year they decided, you know what? Elden Ring had such a good DLC, it should be allowed to get Game of the Year, or at least nominated. Now, I'm not too familiar with what the nominations are or any of that. I just pulled up some articles here from our trusty source, IGN. What was it? IGN ignored or something, or ignorant, something like that. Drinking a Celsius because I'm feeling a little undercaffed. So, why don't we get into the streaming awards? Or the streaming awards, the Game Awards. So, foolishly enough, they've got this kind of the wrong way. I think you should lead with the lower stuff and then work your way up to Game of the Year when you go down your chart. Okay, Game of the Year. Nominees Astrobot, Balastro, what's that? Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. Oh, sorry. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yeah, we need remakes being nominated for Game of the Year. Metaphor, Refunds, the winner is Astrobot. Boy, the competition here is scant, and yet Astrobot wins. You know, you are under the impression that Sony has a lot of pull with the Game Awards. I don't know how this stuff is chosen. There's like a player voice, but I do get the impression that we have one guy who created the Game Awards and then decides how it's going to play out. And it's like he's made the awards about himself, sort of like The Voice. No one knows who ever wins The Voice. No, you walk anywhere. Let's see, the girl that got assassinated, did she even win? The people who win The Voice are irrelevant. The people who get all of the credit on TV, the only people shown in the commercials are the judges. It's just a fun thing for them to do and get paid. So Astrobot strikes me, not a game I've played. It's PlayStation exclusive. If only there was something called an Xbox exclusive, right? It is the type of game that wins this by not offending people. Oh, a lot of callbacks to past Sony stuff. Hey, even Solid Snake's there because known for being on a Sony platform. It's sort of that unoffensive, people won't get too upset if it wins type scenario. But Astrobot, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it kind of like starts life as a demo for the PlayStation VR goggles, whatever they're called? And now we're going to go full-blown release, PlayStation 5. You don't need the VR, but hey, isn't it cute? So appeals to everybody. Best game direction. Shouldn't that maybe be like a name tied to that? Like best picture, Gladiator, but best director. You don't say Gladiator, you would say Ridley Scott, but he never won that. But the point I'm getting at. All right, I guess it's good to know who represent the game. Astrobot's the winner. All the same shit that just repeat the same thing. So is it typically the case where it's best game direction gets best game or game of the year? Best narrative. I need to know if this is even scrolling correctly. There's such a delay. Everything looks like garbage. I know the picture's like tiny. Like I was saying here, they screwed me really good. Like I can't fix this. Like OBS has wrecked my shit, and I'll probably have to like reinstall and rebuild my entire screen or something because everything is just so messed up. We got all this black dead space all over the place. It's just heinous. Best narrative. So this would be the game with the best story, I'm assuming. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. Can never tell you what Like a Dragon Yakuza game is the new one because they seem to have a new one every 3 months. So it seems. Hell, by the time the Game Awards came out, Infinite Wealth was probably not even the most recent one. It's like it's the only thing Sega makes. They make a yearly Sonic title, have a Sonic movie in the loop, Knuckles TV show, streaming show. But here we go. Metaphor Refantasio. I am not familiar with. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Silent Hill 2. Is Silent Hill 2 being a remake? At least Senua's Saga were continuing something, right? I would have thought that had a very strong narrative, but spoilers, I think some people are a bit put off by the giants not being real. It's more of a force of mythology brought in to control people. I thought it was fairly clever. I didn't suspect that twist, so... And, I've come to be so jaded, I'm not particularly surprised by anything. So, man, you gotta tell me Senua's Saga won something. That was my favorite game of the year. And I also have to wonder, is it just out too late? Is that why Indiana Jones The Great Circle, which seems to have rave reviews, which I'm enjoying, 3 hours in, still haven't had to shoot a fascist yet. I've just bumped them over the head, pushed them off a ledge, things like that, use the whip. Not nominated for anything, and to just come out too late in the year, because they like to give Oscars to movies that come out a few days before the damn Oscars are announced. And it's like, don't worry, we saw it. The public, you can weigh in later. We're judging for you, was the way they like to do that. I thought that the Game Awards, for a brief period, seemed to have more influence on the culture than the Oscars. The Oscars really fell out of favor, and then the Game Awards was like, hold my beer. So, best art direction. Does this mean best graphics? Like, why are we phrasing this shit like it's a movie? Okay, so best art direction. Is that a combination of character design and graphics? I don't know. Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong. Neither of those ugly games. Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. Why do people like this game? It looks stupid. Like, hey, do you want to walk around in a large environment that is totally unforgiving with lore taking place off somewhere else you have to read shit up? Everything's dangerous and wants to kill you. The game. Really? Is that what we want to do? I will never wrap my head around why people like Elden Ring so much. If you're just tuning in, OBS screwed up. It is having a lot of problems. I updated it and it screwed up everything. And that's why my screen's tiny in places. I had to rebuild it on the fly to try to get some kind of stream up. Shit, I should have not even done a damn stream tonight. I should have just done a Hazard, Cute, and Pixel Spray tutorial, which I was working on for Overwatch 2. Even though I said I wouldn't do any more Overwatch 2. It has problematic sprays. I have to work on that. So yeah, someone explain. Best art direction. Is that best graphics? The winner is Metaphor Fantasio. Never heard. Shit. Okay, I guess I gotta check out this Metaphor. I'm going to guess it's not available on Xbox, because that's the way things go. How is it that I've got 4 viewers? It feels like I have to do the vertical live stream stuff to get more, you know, to break into the tens. Best score and music. Okay, so music, would that be original songs, or we just get to pick and choose like it's Guardians of the Galaxy? Astrobot, isn't Astrobot nominated for every damn thing? Like, come on. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, winner. I'm assuming that's quite orchestral. I'm assuming as much. Metaphor Fantasio, nominated for pretty much everything also. Silent Hill 2, Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade, all I know of it is the character design. I didn't even know it had sound. So, best audio design. Oh yeah, now this has got to be a clear one here. Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Are we on 6 already? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Winner. Silent Hill 2. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. I can understand that winning, but I don't think it necessarily has better audio than the original. It's not like the original came out running highly compressed audio on the PlayStation. Okay, it's like a PS4, Xbox One gen game. We had audio pretty damn perfected by then. The what is it, binaural voices in your head sort of stuff. Make sure you're wearing a headset when you play this game. The voices guide you. It's all pretty cool. I think there was more need to guide the player through that mechanic in the original. The original had the tougher puzzles where it's like, oh, does she see it? She doesn't see it. She doesn't see it over there. You gotta look over there. She doesn't see it. And then you hear all these voices pestering you, mocking you into solving the puzzle, giving you hints in like a really unorthodox way. But sure, Hellblade 2 winner. Best performance. Hana Tell, Life is Strange. Life is so strange when you don't know. Double Exposure. Haven't played that yet. Really liked the original. Haven't so much cared for the rest of it as strongly, but I thought True Colors Are Beautiful. Well, I thought that was actually a decent entry. Probably though I hadn't played the whatever DLC and you had to play. I know people had problems with the story for Life is Strange too, but Brianna White, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Would that be Eris? And yes, I say Eris because my professor at the University of Kansas actually named her Eris, and then you guys changed it to Aerith after the fact. Would that be Eris or Tifa? I'm assuming Eris. I don't know how that's working out. If they're like doing installments for Final Fantasy VII. I have a friend, he's got a PlayStation 4. He's playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, whatever. And then he's waiting for the sequel, and they say, no, PlayStation 5 exclusive, screw you. He's pissed about that. Humberly Gonzalez, I guess that's the main gal with the, like, I don't know, the hair happening that everybody's making fun of in Star Wars Outlaws. Luke Roberts, Silent Hill 2, I'm assuming protagonist. Melina Jurgensen, I'm sure it's Melina, a winner for Hellblade 2. So, is she, when we're saying performance, are we talking you are the motion capture and the voice, not just simply the model for the butt in Stellar Blade or something like that? Like, how are we deciding what a performance is in a game? In Jurgensen's case, she may be doing both. I've seen the behind the scenes stuff. It looks like it's going that way. And she was strong in the first Hellblade, so, and I don't have any complaints with her in the second one. And not being too familiar with the rest of the stuff, but kind of guessing, I think this got it right. Okay. Innovation and accessibility. Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. What's so accessible about that? Oh, you didn't click on their head quick enough, you died? You got sniped across the map? Okay. Diablo 4. All right. Dragon Age, the Veilguard. I have heard stuff about the accessibility in that I'm trying to recall what it is. It'd be really nice if I had comments, but okay. And yeah, I'm sorry, everything's screwed up on the stream. Okay. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown winner. That, I believe you have the potential to almost run the game on autopilot if you were so inclined. And is that an innovation? I don't know. Like, it was super good feet controls if you don't have use of all your fingers. That would be an innovation, I would think. Games for Impact. Oh, Jesus. This is why not the wokest game? That's what we should say. Closer the Distance. Indica. On my wish list. Looks pretty compelling, but when you turn on the sound and watch the trailer, it's like this is a little, I don't know, incongruent, I guess. It doesn't seem like it's the music that would fit the setting or whatever. The winner's Neva. We also got Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, Tales of Kenzera Zao. I'm not familiar. What else do we have here? And I gotta know, is this scrolling? I can't really see. It may not be. Ongoing game. Best ongoing game. Now that is a good way to describe a game that won't die. Life service game might be the way the industry will want this changed, right? Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite. I'm assuming Fortnite is nominated every single year. Helldivers 2, winner. That has got to make people over at Overwatch a little pissed, right? Like, we have an ongoing game. We didn't even get nominated. We got Game of the Year when we came out, but yeah, I heard a lot about Helldivers 2. It was getting a lot of hype in the year. A lot of comments on that. Best community support. Define. Does this mean chill lobbies? People helping you out? Is this... So it sounds like it's not really up to the game, right? It's kind of on the players to win this one. Baldur's Gate 3. So last year's Game of the Year winner, which I don't believe is an ongoing game, is still eligible to win an award this year. All right, sure. I roll. Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky. A lot of those games have been around for a longest time. And isn't No Man's Sky single player? So what the hell is it? You just keep getting updates? You're like eligible? Like, what is this? Best independent game. Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, UFO 50. Don't believe I've heard of any of these, but the best independent game is usually something worth checking out. So maybe I'll see what's available here at Balatro's on Xbox. Maybe we'll give it a spin. All right. Best debut indie game. Ooh, a first-time game maker. Balatro, winner. We also... Animal Well, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive. I do believe I've heard of that one, and it might have been on Xbox Game Pass. The Plucky Squire, best mobile game. So, you're telling me Balatro is a mobile game? Now I don't feel so compelled to play it. So, there we go. Best VR AR game, virtual reality and augmented reality. What do we say here? Arizona Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow. I think Batman Arkham City had won Game of the Year. Or were they not doing the game of the awards at that time? Maybe they were, but Metal Hellsinger. That had been around, hadn't it? Or no, I don't know. Metro Awakening. Some of that stuff had kind of been around, but then ported into a VR fashion, I guess. Best action game, Black Myth Wukong winner. I can totally see that given the way people responded to it for the week that it was popular. Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Man, do we call that an action game? I mean, shouldn't we be using the term first person shooter here? Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2. Alrighty. Best action adventure game. I'd almost more be inclined to call Black Myth action adventure instead of action. So we got Astrobot as the winner, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws. Everybody hates Star Wars Outlaws, so what is it doing getting nominated for stuff? Like, fill me in, chat. All right. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. What is that? There was Breath of the Wild, Heat of the Moment or something, the Fart in the Desert. I can't remember. Tears of the Kingdom, right? And that was the other year, so what are we doing? Best RPG, Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring, Shadow of the DLC, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor, ReFantazio. Again, this game's getting a lot of nominations. Got to win here. Best RPG. If I have the means to check that on Xbox, just might do. Alrighty. Best fighting game. Granblue Fantasy Versus Rising. Don't think I've heard of that one. We've got Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Seen that trending a lot on Twitter. Black Twitter very much into Dragon Ball Z. And for some reason, the Mel Gibson film Apocalypto. Very much into those. Seemingly for no reason. I don't... It's just, it doesn't have too many white people in it. Maybe that's it. So, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection, Arcade Classics. How the hell is that a game? That's a collection of games. You're calling a game? You might as well have just said, the latest patched version that we're going to put in tournaments of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes. Because... essentially, the reason people are buying that is so they can play that game on a modern console. Is really what it comes down to with the online play and such. Multiverses, that's been out for a while, right? Am I wrong? Multiverse has been out for a while. Tekken 8 winner. Being that it is the only, new? Well, Dragon Ball. We can call Dragon Ball new, can't we? That Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, we can call that new. But Tekken 8 is new. MK1 SF6 came out last year, so they're not being nominated, I would say, right? Let's go to the chat just a little bit. Dawn, it's supposed to be chatting with members. You're supposed to be a member. What the hell? Hey, did I miss the stream? Did you like the Great Gatsby movies? Haven't seen them. I've seen... and I didn't think it was bad. The one from the 70s with Robert Redford. What's your favorite Leonardo DiCaprio? Probably Leonardo DiCaprio would probably be my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you believe Snow White movie will make $500 million against its $250 million budget? Probably. If you look at the stuff that bombs at Disney, it still pulls in. Like, look, Elemental. I was under the impression that made no money. Like, full stop. Maybe $10 million gross is what you're given the impression of. Instead, you pull up the Wikipedia, it says it made $450 million. If that can make $450 million with no stars and no drama, hype, whatever, the Snow White will probably do something. In fact, I actually think that they've done a few corrective adjustments. They made Rachel Zegler beg for forgiveness, apologize, and the CGI dwarves is better than a bunch of tall people being called dwarves and looking like some kind of United Colors of Benetton commercials. So yeah, let's get back to the game stuff, and we'll take some more questions in a minute here. Best family game. How many damn awards are there? Am I almost done with this? Best family game, Princess Peach Showtime. Yeah, I can see that being family friendly. Astrobot, winner. Ooh, Nintendo must be big mad. Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, The Plucky Squire. Oh yeah, Nintendo big mad. Nintendo no win. Nintendo no win award this year, I guess, right? Actually, was there something on here? No. No, Metaphor. Yep, Astrobot. Astrobot's coming in strong. Best Sim strategy game, Frostpunk 2, 11-Bit Studios. Okay. No one else is getting their studio name after this, but they won. Age of Mythology, Retold, something, all that sort of stuff you really need to click on. Got a PC, so much, right? Best sports racing game. Ooh, combining the genres. That'll make things a little tricky, right? F1 24, EA Sports FC 25. Is that soccer? Football club? What is that? NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25. I really enjoyed the original Top Spin. That was pretty beast for a tennis game. And WWE 2K24. Oh, we don't have a 25 out? Is that what we're doing here? Best multiplayer game, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, winner. Well, that was the best ongoing game, right? It was ongoing? Yeah, I think it said. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, Warhammer 40k, Space Marine Deuce. Best adaptation. So it's not a game. No, not a game. We're talking about practice, not a game. Practice. We're talking about practice. Now we're giving awards in the Game Awards to trying to take a game property and make a movie or streaming series of. And okay, we got Arcane. Really good reception on that. Haven't given it any thought. But Fallout, I'm more negative on than most people. But boy, is it a hell of a lot better than the Halo series. I can understand that being the winner. Knuckles, Like a Dragon Yakuza, seen that come up, thought about watching. And Tomb Raider, Legend of Flat-Chested Lara Croft. I have not actually given that any thought. It's so weird that they found the bustiest actress available and said, you voice Lara Croft. And then they said, Lara Croft, zoop. It was like snip, snip, nothing there. And they said, that's our Lara, which is bizarre. Guys, okay, we're going to get back into the chat here before we lose track of everything. How can something mostly CGI cost over 100 million? Is there some type of secret laundering? Possibly. You would think at this point CGI would be cheaper than contracting out union people to shoot on location, and yet somehow it isn't, right? If you can only play one game for the rest of your life, what would it be? It would seem as though it's Overwatch/Overwatch 2 right now. I'm always getting sucked back into this bullshit. It's because, I mean, I've done everything there is to do, but it for whatever damn reason, it doesn't end, right? There's no narrative for you to think that you can walk away from it, as messed up as that is. Is Rachel Zegler ruining her career? She was ruining her career, but Trump win means Disney reassessing the population and going, you know what, we can't go that far woke and lecturing We have to reel this back a little bit. Disney might save her career by making her apologize and tone it down. As the movie comes closer to release, she will zip it. So, what else we have? If you can play only one game, what would I answer that? What are we doing? Why don't you become a passport bro? Quit asking about passports, Christ. I mean, come on. Honestly, my brother wants to do that. He's like, "Hey Vaughn, thinking about I'm gonna go to Vietnam to find a wife," and I'm like, "You can't even like dance to disco music. How are you gonna pull that off with your baldness? Hey, I'm bald and pasty. Shit." All right. Will Marvel Rivals kill Overwatch? Asks Dane. I would say unlikely. I think people are souring on Marvel Rivals pretty fast. If you look at my review posted, why I said it sucked, I had a few decent points, but I didn't chime on them for 45 minutes like a hack padding out the runtime to game the algorithm. I got to the damn point because that's what I know how to do. In fact, I may use that, present that to Vivek and Elon and say, get me in on the Doge, all right? Put me in that government Department of Efficiency thing because I know how to keep it pivy. So, as such, I would say Marvel Rivals, you end up with guys bombing from long range. How much fun can that be to a point? When we don't really have a lot of high skill characters. The skill ceiling on those characters feels very low compared to Overwatch. And then you have a guy like Wolverine, whose ultimate is he gets angry, but all of his moves are super close. And a number of tanks who operate that way too. Venom, Hulk. It's like if you don't have projectiles in a game that does have projectiles without the auto aim, does it feel rewarding enough to keep coming back to? And they even have a season 0 competitive, which means they're throwing shit out there too quick. They haven't given this that much thought, really. The art style is also total garbage. It looks like something that could run on the 360. Okay, have you watched the Penguin series on HBO? No, I do not have HBO Max because I'm not willing to pay their extortion price for 4K HDR. If you get that great big bundle over there for Disney Plus, Hulu Plus, or Hulu, Hulu Plus was actually the name of it before anything else had a damn plus. The premium version of a Hulu, when I signed up for in 2017, was called Hulu Plus. Yeah, if you get all that with the no ads and you get to watch Disney in 4K and all this stuff, no ads, Hulu no ads, you get no ads on HBO, but then you don't actually get the 4K package, so screw them. I don't know if my audio is picking up that good over here, but I gotta kind of lean a little to get picture. Okay, well, maybe a little, maybe I kind of had that right. What would make you happy? You seem annoyed. Maybe you should take a month vacation, explore Argentina. I don't like vacations. Traveling sucks. So, yeah, forget that. All right, we're going to finish up Don's questions and get back into this. Then Mary's got some questions here. How is late night television shows still a thing? Most people don't watch television, let alone old people have a habit and they don't break their habits until they die. They get into a rut and they keep going. You have to consider that the TV networks have to have something on TV. The next round of hiring replacement hosts for The Tonight Show, Late Show, whatever Kimmel's thing would be called without him, they cannot sink the same money into them that they did with the previous round when they started with an audience. These guys started with audiences and they've only gone down. So the real question is, where do they go when it comes time for the next generation? How long are these guys going to stick around? How long is Fallon going to be able to host The Tonight Show? Oh, and it started off so good because they baked in viral video clips, and now the people online are not looking for clips from TV late night shows that no one watches. There, it was working for them when people didn't watch the show, but they watched the clips, and we had the car karaoke shit. We had the let's play the popular song in the with kids' toys, games with the celebrities, all this shit. But people don't care about that anymore, and the celebrities have been soured upon so much they can't bring in viewers. It will simply be interesting what happens next. I think they will look to go cheaper, and one of the big brands will probably go down. Like there may not be a Tonight Show after Jimmy Fallon. That's what I think about that. All right, let's get back into this. Most anticipated game. How the Christ is that an award? The award for people looking forward to playing this. You didn't do anything, but you gave us a trailer. You know, why not make it a little tangible, like best trailer for an unreleased best trailer for a game releasing next year, we think. You know, we have Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, Ghost of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 6 winner, Metroid Prime 4, Monster Hunter Wilds. I didn't even realize Death Stranding 2 was a thing or coming so much. I just bought Death Stranding 1, the director's cut on Xbox, and haven't actually opened it yet. And I need to finish up Indiana Jones, honestly. Content Creator of the Year, people I've never heard of. All right, I guess we're at the end. Are we? Yeah? Okay. So let's see if that's still working. Is the scrolling working or is that busted? I'm kind of okay. Because I know this sometimes this locks up. Best esports game Dota 2, Counter-Strike 2. I thought it was simply Counter-Strike, CSGO, or there's a Counter-Strike 2. Surely that's not new, right? League of Legends winner, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, Valorant. League of Legends, man, that's been around, hadn't it? Am I wrong, or is that Arcane League of Legends related? Am I wrong about that? I don't really recall. Best esports athlete, who gives? Looks like a bunch of Asians. Best esports team, T1 for League of Legends. I don't even shit. It's mostly League of Legends teams. Okay, so that concludes our thoughts on that for the moment. Now you look over here, you'll see how screwed up my setup is over here. I don't know how much of my screen is even on the screen. But yeah, OBS is pissing me. It has rearranged all my shit and it won't put it back the way I had it. So I had to, stream was 30 minutes late because I had to slide everything back into place. So let's opine on the questions here. Mary, what's your greatest achievement? 7-Day Survivor in the original Dead Rising. Greatest achievement. Do you want to make a lot of money or do you want a lot of internet fame? I guess either's fine, whatever. Do you want to... You said that twice. Okay, why are the Godfather movies still watchable, but I can't watch reruns of Endgame to save my life? Highlander Endgame has a lot of problems, but it is really compelling seeing Connor McLeod and Duncan McLeod come together. So it actually bridges the gap between the film franchise and the, I think, first run syndication or basic cable franchise. Only ever saw it on USA, so maybe it's not first run syndication. That kind of disregarded the film franchise. And then they kind of were like, oh, you know what? Let's bring it together anyway. So then it's like, well, how are these guys related? How does that work out? They can't have kids, but then lineage. But yeah, no mention of Sean Connery, but kind of crazy. Yeah. So Yeah, I would say most people would prefer The Godfather over Highlander Endgame. Why do you hate Dwayne Johnson? That's why. Why? I don't hate him, but he is very unaware of where he is. He thinks everything he does is magic. He has no self awareness. He thinks everybody loves him. He's probably a movie star by virtue of Kevin Hart and jumping into Fast and Furious, which was already, he jumps in on the fifth installment. It was already pretty damn established, and he shows up and acts like he needs to take things over. Dwayne Johnson, I think, rubs me the wrong way for being considered a massive movie star without actually headlining, above the title, any good movie. Full stop. None of them. Mostly really terrible movies, in fact. He seemed to think that Red 1 would be game over in IMAX 3D for some reason. Red 1, which came out not long ago, is already streaming for Prime members over on Amazon. Kind of wild, if you ask me. Which reminds me, I need to order something for my Prime membership before I cancel it. I think I got that in. You get a month. Well, hold on. Did I get a month for? Oh shit! I need to look. That better not have been. I think I had a month courtesy around Black Friday. I think the week starting Black Friday. Yeah, I think so. Because we don't do Black Friday now. It's the week of Black Friday plus Cyber Monday's week after, don't we? Yeah, Dwayne Johnson lacks the self awareness. The thing that made him a star really was probably hosting Saturday Night Live. He hosted Saturday Night Live, and everybody was like, wow, it's a revelation. He can sing. He can do the Mr. Peepers thing. He can act all these different characters. He's amazing. We got to give him projects. It's massive, massive ego and dipping his hands into everything and not really being an expert on much. Would I hang out with him? Maybe, I guess. I could make fun of him on stage if I needed to, but what made The Office so successful? Uh, Super relatability. They casted a bunch. Casted isn't really a term, but they cast a bunch of non-actors. Phyllis was like a seamstress. I think she was working in the wardrobe department. You got this guy Creed, who was in a band in the 60s. These people were not necessarily actors, and they were getting, supporting parts in The Office. So they looked like average Joes, and they were assigned to behave as such in a faux documentary setting. To The Office's credit, they ran with the faux documentary setup better than all the facsimiles. Modern Family, they have the confessional scenes, right? Where they're addressing the camera as if there is a some kind of documentary being shot, but they never really seem to say as much. And the camera is always ahead of the action in there or framed for dramatic effect. The Office, it felt like the camera had to follow them places and capture reactions live in theory. Now, I have a lot of problems with The Office. Jim constantly looking at the camera as if that's funny in of itself. Like, he always looks at the camera like somebody says something racist and he goes, like, did you hear that? Did you catch that? I don't care. Like, just looking at the camera isn't going to be laugh stuff. Oh, but it was so advanced, not having a laugh track and yeah, whatever, Yeah, but people are like, I work in an office. This is just like working in an office. I want to come home and watch something that reminds me of work. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, that's kind of a bad reason for anything to be successful. Let's take a look at one more thing regarding the Game Awards. We have, if I can get this to pull up here, big announcements at the Game Awards. Now, I don't believe any of these are trailers that are going to play for us, but I do have, some reactions or whatever, thoughts. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. Now, you can see clearly from this shot, and I'm going to assume there was some kind of trailer that I'm ignoring, right? You can see in this shot, Hayabusa is looking a bit different here. We've gone with a much more impressionistic art style. We're not shooting for that Team Ninja realism thing over here. In fact, they seem to have eschewed Team Ninja altogether and paired up with Dotemu. I swear I knew how to say that when I was making fun of one of their games earlier. The guys who created Streets of Rage 4 and Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Critically acclaimed games that I didn't care for. So those French bastards are here to ruin Ninja Gaiden. So expect a very, I'm sure it won't be single player, but expect a very Streets of Rage beat 'em up style version of Ninja Gaiden. Not the intricate, super hard boss thing so much, more of the raw beat 'em up kind of stuff. Move Away. One Move Away. One Move Away is a first-person game from Rampage Games and Playstick about packing up and moving to a new home. It is set to launch 2025 on Steam. Looking forward to not playing it. Slay the Spire 2. I have heard of Slay the Spire. Next was gameplay trailer for Slay the Spire 2, the sequel to indie hit Deck Building. Ugh. Man, sometimes the promotional art, it's like, hey, this looks kind of cool. And that is a giveaway that it's a deck builder. If it looks like they're doing too much with the promotional art and it's like kind of fun looking, deck building. Oh yeah, I want to, fire up my OLED TV, my advanced Xbox Series X, the most powerful console on the market for a period of time, to play a game that is all menu. Yeah, that sounds like a blast. Dave the Diver in the Jungle. Dave the Diver is headed to the jungle in his next adventure, but it was not clear if In the Jungle is another expansion of or a full-blown sequel. Dave the Diver in the Jungle is set for release late 2025. That didn't even look like that's that complicated of a game. Thick as Thieves. It's a new multiplayer immersive stealth game from Warren Spector, one of the minds behind... one of the mids, yeah. Behind Thief and Deus Ex. Players will choose from multiple character archetypes, including the Hood, the Spider, the Chameleon. So, multiplayer immersive stealth. So I have to blame you for blowing our cover. Great idea. Shadow Labyrinth. Is this a Hollow-like? Are we doing a Souls-like Metroidvania thing? Shadow Labyrinth is a new... Okay, here we go. You can tell from looking at the screen, Metroidvania, right? Metroidvania-style game from Bandai Namco. I prefer to just say Namco because I'm not a douche. So, where a hooded figure must traverse a dangerous world with a robot that looks and acts suspiciously like Pac-Man in tow. Boy, does it. Yeah. It is scheduled to launch 2025 for consoles and PC. Steel Paws. The next game from Shenmue creator Yu Suzuki. Oh, God. This guy, they just dust him off for Shenmue, don't they? He's like, I'll do Shenmue or Virtua Fighter. Like, screw the rest of you. By the way, I think there's a new Virtua Fighter. Is that going to be on the list here? I think it is. In partnership with Netflix Games, Steel Paws is set to launch on mobile device. Does that mean you have to have Netflix to play it? Or is Netflix willing to publish games on other platforms? We'll see. As such, I have... I did try Netflix Gaming for a minute there. There is a Centipede Recharge, kind of fun. It plays almost like or is it Centipede Evolution or something? Maybe it's even by the people who do Geometry Wars. It plays very similar, like you have one life, how far can you get? quite a bit easier than OG Centipede at the arcade. But um, I have been wanting to play through Infernax without spending $20 on it on Xbox, and it is available in the Netflix games list. Would have trouble getting video captured for that, I'm sure. But you know, we can always try, right? All right. Koira is a multiplayer exploration game from Pugstorm. Ah, yes, the storm of pugs dropping from the sky. The developers of Core Keeper. I do think I have pulled up Core Keeper and heard it had good multiplayer aspects about it. I may have even downloaded it, but yet to launch it on the Xbox. It sounds very familiar, but yeah. The trailer shows multiple player characters exploring the depth below the village in search of the unknown. How do you know you've found the unknown? How would you know? How will I know if he really loves me? I say a prayer with every rematch. Slowcap has announced the next project, Rematch, an arcade soccer game with walls around the field, allowing for slick trick shots. No specific release date has been announced. Well, don't be surprised if that never makes it. Very hard to do the is it may even be unlicensed sports title, even if you want to do like throwback arcade style NBA Jam, but we can't use the NBA, you know, like if you aren't, look, if EA has the license for the sport and you want to go and you can't get it, like they got exclusive rights, those games fail hard without the player names, without the familiar shit, without looking like a broadcast. They do. Would not invest. Solsta 2 pits players against a dark force led by an evil sorceress named Shadwin. This turn-based tactical RPG based on C-Righty 5 something set to release next year. Here we go. The Witcher 4 CD Projekt Red marked the first world premiere in the Game Awards main show with a first look at the Witcher 4 trailer. Follows Ciri, the protagonist in this next game, as she tries to prevent a human sacrifice by killing a demon terrorizing a small village. I watched part of the trailer. Visually quite strong. That's kind of a problem. It means no way in hell you're playing it on current gen software or hardware for shit. This looks like something that would put the PS5 Pro to task. I think it was running with an unknown, yet name not released to the public graphics card. So like shit. Oh Christ! This is gonna be a colossal like terabyte big game with God knows the requirements, and you're not like to start this shit up with what's available now. You're probably not even hitting 30 FPS. So, geez, this might be coming in 3 or 4 years or down the road. This could be a game that we want to get it right, or have they been working on this? How far are they into development? They also have a habit of these Witcher games not really looking like the trailer. So if it's more of a cinematic trailer and it's not representative of the gameplay, well, there's no telling what awaits us here. But I'm telling you, if they make a game that looks like this trailer, obviously they're shooting for the Game of the Year shit if the Game Awards are even around by the time this is available. Elden Ring Nightrine. What? FromSoft followed CD Projekt Red's surprise announcement with a surprise of its own. Elden Ring Nightrine debut trailer showed multiple Tarnished fighting against massive... So what the hell is that? It's a co-op action spin-off of Elden Ring. Okay. A game which was said to get one DLC, and that would be all it would have. So we got to have a different thing. Project Robot, Fumito Uda. I just made that up. The creator of Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian surprised the Game Awards audience with a brief look at his next game, currently untitled. Well, then, isn't it called Project Robot? Dude, I have a presentation to make, but I can't be bothered to give a name to it. Come on. Currently untitled, the brief trailer showed a human trying to avoid a cataclysmic wave, only to fall short. So your character dies at the beginning of the game. All right, got it. Split Fiction. Is this our DEI portion of the awards over here? Is that what we're doing? The latest from Hazelight Studios and Joseph Fair. Split Fiction is another co-op adventure like It Takes Two and No Way Out. Did this guy work on those? Is that what we did over here? Two story writers, one who writes sci-fi, the other fantasy. I can see which is which. Must traverse levels swapping between genres in order to escape the simulation they're stuck in. At least it sounds kind of original. Alrighty. Split Fiction. Yeah, not a bad title for that. Steel Hunters. Oh, that sounds generic. Wargaming's next IP is Steel Hunters, a 12-person multiplayer shooter that's part hero shooter, part battle royale, and part extraction shooter. So we're just taking everything that's kind of working and just going, put it together, I guess. Players control massive mechs called Hunters as they fight for Starfall, a rare substance that powers a post-apocalyptic world. Okay. Probably won't play that. Sounds like a game that doesn't end, right? Borderlands 4. Randy Pitchford took the stage and revealed the first gameplay trailer for Borderlands 4. That's got to be a tough task. When you're working on Borderlands 4, you're thinking, man, we just had a movie come out. It's got Kevin Hart. It's going to be a hit, right? People are going to be really looking forward to this next game. And what if the movie bombs? Oh, don't even say that, right? So, which also mixed in some story spotlights in the form of a massive war between familiar bandits and an invading force. Teddy Belcher 4K ultra wide 21:9, whatever the hell that ever meant. I guess you're measuring your TV monitor or something like this. What games has cool backflips? Games has cool backflips? Man, Lara Croft always had a cool backflip, didn't she? Didn't she always have like the smoothest backflip? Vega's back handspring, Street Fighter 2. Did he have that in Street Fighter 2, or was that only like once you had the turbo? Or Championship Edition maybe introduced that, but yeah. What game has cool backflips, and you're saying none of them? Really? On this list, I don't know who's going to backflip or not. Clive Rosefield in Tekken 8. The last character for Tekken 8's Year 1 character pass was revealed to be Clive Rosefield, the protagonist from Final Fantasy 16. Haven't played. He will be available. So the guy's got a sword. Tekken is supposed to be hand and feet combat with a little bit of double leg takedown. Didn't play Tekken 8, but the demo, but I was under the impression Tekken was a non-weapons fighter. You know, it's not Battle Arena to Shinden, right? New Virtua Fighter. We're not going to call that. What number would we be on? Virtua Fighter 7 or something? You know what? It may be a series reboot scenario. Virtua Fighter. And then it'll say like parentheses 2025 or something of the like, right? A new Virtua Fighter entry was confirmed by Sega. It will be developed by Ryu Gatkoku Studio, known for Yakuza Like a Dragon. Okay. So you're making Like a Dragon branch out. Nice. Now, I saw a little bit of this presentation. Graphics look good. Virtua Fighter, always trying to lead the way on the graphics. So, yeah, I mean, could potentially work, but I always felt Virtua Fighter was slow. Street Fighter always been the fast fighting game, but Tekken quite a bit faster as the 3D fighting games go. Virtua Fighter was a little too grounded, really, to be fun. It was more frustrating. Also, the rules kind of blew with the ring outs not kind of being the way you expect. Project Century. Ryoga Goku wasn't done. He's pulling double work, huh? However, as it also shown a gameplay trailer for Project Century, a third-person action game set in Japan 1915. Why don't you call it Yakuza 1915 or Like a Dragon 1915? It will. Turok Origins. Dusting off the Turok franchise, are we? The classic Nintendo 64 first-person shooter franchise Turok is being rebooted thanks to Saber Interactive and Universal. The debut trailer showed 3 warriors facing off against a horde of dinosaurs of all shapes and sizes. Good luck shooting those little bastards, right? Turok is looking a lot more like DCEU Aquaman, but hey, let's get the Native Americans in there when we can, guys. Or are we going to have the white girls protest this on their behalf? Warframe 1999. So we're getting a Warframe sequel finally, but it's set in 1999. Like, I mean, I was around in 99. Ain't nobody dressed like that. Okay, the next expansion, all right. For Digital Extremes Warframe, the Y2K-inspired Warframe 1999 announced its launch trailer via a new trailer, or launch date via new trailer. The update will hit, hold on here. Not really 1999 fashion, but are you saying that they are technologically limited here? Like they don't have iPhones and they don't really have a data plan on their cell and the reception's going to be bad and they can't talk long distance? Is that what we're doing? Splitgate 2. Downloaded the original, didn't play it. Splitgate 2, a new trailer showcased more of the upcoming Splitgate sequel, revealing a new mode and more maps for the Portal-centric shooter. Yeah, okay. Omnimusha, Way of the Sword, dusting off an old brand here, are we? Is this a Capcom title, I believe? Yeah, Capcom surprised the Game Awards attendees with the return of Samus. In Omnimusha, Way of the Sword, a brief gameplay sequence was shown, followed by a 2026 release window. Shite. So ways off. And we know things get postponed too, don't we? Eric Brown, what are we talking about? Just got in. We're talking about the Game Awards, man. I think we're about to wrap things up too. Because I'm going through, as you can see, we had a lot of problems with the screen. OBS acted up pretty horrifically, and yeah. So we went through the Game Award winners and nominees and such, and now we're talking about the games that were announced. Because I think at this point, the appeal of the Game Awards is it's acting like a mini E3 of sorts. It's like the Country Music Awards. There's a Country Music Award every week because it's a free country music concert they can put on TV. Game Awards is an opportunity to announce games that are coming and to show off a new trailer. And that's really what the point is. Mary, you deleted the message before I could read it. The next game from Overcooked developer Ghost Town Games. Man, Overcooked, a little complicated. Is Stage Fright, a co-op adventure with 2 human characters avoiding hostile aliens in a split world where actions from one can help the other simultaneously. Getting to be a few more games like that. There was a game I played through, intended to review, got all the footage, forgot more about the game, but it was the first game on the Xbox Series X that was a Series X required game. Well, a Series required game. Didn't have an Xbox One version. It was the first game I played that had the ray tracing. And it wasn't bad. I know I did a first impressions of it, but it had this kind of split thing where you manipulated objects in one time to affect where they would be later. And then we mentioned over here that what was it? The flip the script fiction girls, something, who have to do similar shit. Sonic Racing. Sonic the Hedgehog runs at the speed of sound. Why does he need a car? Wouldn't his car simply be slower? Like, someone explain that. Did you see the trailer for 28 Years Later? I have not. I've seen stills. I suppose I could do a trailer reaction to that. Would we be down for such? Omnimishu, nice, but that's not Dino Crisis. Indeed. Dino Crisis may not really have an appeal at this point. It is hard enough for the scenario of Resident Evil 2 to work in a remake. I don't see Dino Crisis working. And I think it'd be very niche. I just don't think it's ever happening. Who will be on top, Marvel or DC, in the next 20 years? Shite. There's no telling. There probably won't be either of them in 20 years. There'll be a cool down period. What led to the downfall of Cartoon Network? The internet. Not having to go to Cartoon Network to see the reruns of Family Guy, things like that. Ultimately, you have to have brand new programming on your network. If something isn't priority water cooler stuff, the internet takes all, you know. What led to the downfall of Nickelodeon? Okay, so new to here, you want the that trailer reaction. We can do that. Yes to the trailer reaction. We'll do that in a sec. Why? And then we'll wrap shit up. Where are the super chats? Where are the donations? Where are the people signing up for memberships? By the way, guys, so here's the plan with the memberships. All right. I actually did a post on this. I asked YouTube support for this, and they couldn't confirm or deny any of my schemes here. But I was thinking, uncensored movie reviews, uncensored movie and streaming reviews, like the uncensored stuff, members only version, a members only 18 plus upload. But then you guys have to go to the pleb version and hit like on it too, and shit, okay? It is a little wishy-washy on what you can put in a video at this point, but the streaming services are pushing the envelope and going totally debased. And there's a movie in particular I watched a couple weeks ago. I still haven't done a video on, in part because it's so full of blood, and it's from the broad that made The Substance. It's so bloody with stuff everywhere. I don't think it would make it on YouTube. So the plan is actually to paywall like a director's cut of some reviews going forward, not doing the old ones again. And I think I have a way to do that, and I feel like my competitors, i.e. the Hacks, Critical Drinker, and all those other dicks, they aren't willing to do this. So it is up to me to dare to push to be the innovator here. So that is probably going to be the star behind the only tier membership at this point. So if you guys don't mind, let's get into this, and then we'll finish the questions and watch a trailer. So let me know if that sounds appealing to you guys, like the uncut. And by the way, I do have a slew of Blu-rays and, but not anime. I have a slew of live action Blu-rays and 4Ks coming. One Blu-ray cost $100, and it's not available in the US, but my understanding is it will play on a American player simply because they didn't region lock it, but I had to get it from England. So yeah, things are happening. Okay, Sonic Racing. Again, Sonic does not need a car. Sega announced yet another new game with Sonic Riders. Sega, didn't you show us, like, you had this, like, power outage promo, and I'm not seeing those games. I'm not seeing Crazy Taxi. I'm not seeing Jet Set Radio. Or the new Streets of Rage. Where is that shit? Come on, guys. Sonic Riders Cross Worlds, a new entry in the Sonic Racing series. Sonic Racing, but this says Sonic Riders Cross Worlds. So is it Sonic Racing Cross Worlds or Sonic Riders Cross Worlds? GameSpot, get your shit together. Quit hiring broads. A brief taser showed Shadow the Hedgehog driving off in a souped-up sports car, before the words "coming soon" flashed on screen. Okay. Mafia: The Old Country. Was the Game Awards like 8 hours of showing trailers? Like, where'd they have time for all this shit? Jesus. The Old Country, which was released leading up to the Game Awards, was unveiled during the show. First gameplay. Okay. How about the gameplay trailer? At least the trailer shows third-person cover-based shooting action, as well as initiation ceremony to be part of the family. Okami sequel. I saw the trailer for this, the teaser of sorts. Haven't played Okami. Thought about buying the HD version on the Xbox. Probably will at some point. It's on sale frequently, but I've got a backload of shit to get through. And frankly, I think we might be a little past due on an Okami sequel. I heard good things about it. Wasn't this a OG Xbox title? Like in the waning days of the Xbox, I think? Yeah, the original. The penultimate announcement was another from Capcom, which revealed that a sequel to Okami is currently in development. Clovers is the name of the studio on the project, and Hideki Kanyama, whatever, is the head of the project. All right, here we go. Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Okay. The Heretic Prophet. The final announcement came from Naughty Dog, which is moving from The Last of Us to a new IP, intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. The Heretic Prophet. The brief teaser trailer showed a conversation between Bounty Hunter and her handler, who gives her a new target that looks suspiciously like Camille Nanjiani. I was about to make fun of his name and say it was the previous guy, and then I was like, no. And then the guy. So I did see that we've got memes already. It's like from Neil Druck, and it's like, I know. And it shows the girl with the shaved head, and it's like, this is our DEI game. This is the game that they were making, going, oh man, it's going to be so amazing when Kamala Harris becomes president. And then this game was what they were working on. Jesus. All right, not playing that. Let's assume that that's going to be a PlayStation game anyway. What other questions we have here? Yes, I'm going to watch the 28 Days trailer, 28 years later. Why don't the younger generation not like playing video games and only watch people? I'm thinking, like, who is going to play the video games when the millennials quit playing the games? So the alphas have to watch somebody play the games, yet there won't be the boomer millennials to do it. Who fills that void? It's crazy. It's like, it's too much skill. It's too much of a time suck. I can skip forward through the good parts if I'm watching somebody. Maybe that's the mindset of it. It's cheaper, for one. But then again, gaming is fairly accessible now, seeing as how most consoles play about everything in some capacity. It's not like where it's like, oh man, I had to get a 3DO to play this one game, and you didn't have the internet to watch someone play it. So now you have the internet to watch someone play it. I guess they simply go to the internet. The internet conquers all, guys. Yeah, people are going to just get married online to people they never met, and they'll still be called a marriage. That's where we're headed. Is Comedy Central still relevant? Probably not, save for The Daily Show, which can potentially make some kind of headlines. Otherwise, I believe most of their investment on production has been for animation. Some new guy came in, wanted to make an animation hub. Tosh.0 was doing good. They canceled that. Daniel Tosh had a pretty good retort saying, I look forward to coming back in 10 years in animated form. Will consoles still be relevant in 20 years? No. There will be other means to game. Microsoft wants you to get off your Xbox and become a PC gamer. Though that does open the door to you buying games on Steam instead of through Microsoft. So I would think they should be more invested in keeping you on the Xbox. But what do I know? They don't pay me to run the world. Now, let me swap you guys over to this ugly screen over here while I try to pull up a trailer for 28 Days Later. And we'll see how big of a disaster this is. What the hell is on my damn screen here? Snow White trailer parody? Does that say AI? Oh my god, I hate all this AI trailer crap. It's just like, very seldom am I finding any of this AI video entertaining. It could be of use in a commentary on something, but if it's just, look at what I could prompt, I just don't care. Oh, Jay Leno's Garage looking at a CRX. I'm going to save that to my watch later. Okay, give me a sec. 28 years later trailer. I've got some bad thoughts about this. We'll get into that in a sec. We've got Sony Pictures here. Oh, hold on. Okay. I think we're good to go now. And there's me criticizing the Game Awards on the thing there. Let's give this a watch. Is this the correct music? Still doing England? It began. Okay, yeah, 2002/3. They should be watching Teletubbies. Makes sense. Some time goes and those kids still have to sit there, huh? Days became weeks. We should have done months. We missed 28 months later. Some old recording from WW2. What is this? Seems we have remixed something that sounds kind of like a nursery rhyme. Keep the bag on the head. We need crazy masks, guys. We've had 28 years to develop these masks. This should be the film series that gets England to get their shit together and allow people to have guns, right? Because you wish you had guns in a zombie apocalypse, right? Oh, that looked like a Oppenheimer dude. What's Cillian Murphy, right? Or is it Killian Murphy? It might be Killian. Shit. 28 years later. Okay. There are worse trailers. That is a surprisingly effective teaser in way. I've seen worse shit. My understanding is this was shot on an iPhone 15 Pro or whatever. Aren't we on the 16 now? So this can get quickly outmodded, but I think it is worth. I wouldn't shoot on an iPhone. There's a number of reasons. Look at the, like, I don't know, 30K of other stuff you have to do to then get the shot you want. There's sensor issues. There's so much that can go wrong. So you're going to have to be very precise with how you do this. And, probably a lot of shit's getting cleaned up in post to a CGI you don't even much realize, because the phone simply isn't going to give you the picture you want. I did like 28 Days Later. It introduced us to the rage zombie. Hey, they're zombies. Oh, okay, we've done zombie, but they run. Wait a minute. Well, it's because if you think about it, it's not like they're a corpse that got reanimated from the ground, that was in the dirt. They're an infected human. So it's like having rabies more than zombie. But, We use the blanket statement zombie, right? Is it Cillian Murphy is how you say it? Okay, nice. Uh, yeah, I guess I'll be checking that out. By the way, oh shit. It's got people I don't really like. Jodie Comer, ugh. Aaron Taylor Craven. Ray Fiennes, might watch it for him. Weird cast. 28 weeks later, not as good. Jeremy Renner, before most people recognize him from anything but SWAT, if that. Rose Byrne was all right. You got Imogen Poots, but I don't know. It just didn't really feel as good. Then again, even a lesser 28. Are we gonna call this the 28 later franchise? Like, is that how we do it? Shits all over Resident Evil movies. Whoa, like so much. This, you can just about assume this is better than any Resident Evil movie. Like, why wouldn't you assume as much? So, what else do we got here? Brett Cooper left Daily Wire. Hilarious, I know. She's supposed to star in the Pendragon series, something that I think they're trying to do a YA novel thing, and there was some kind of Snow White non-woke version starring Brett Cooper. You can't convince me Brett Cooper isn't Ben Shapiro. If they are indeed two different people, she was hired because she looks like Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro found that hot. You can't convince me otherwise. They set her place up to look like I am just a teenage girl with a super fancy looking camera and editors and things. And, oh, hey, I'm just a girl over here. And this looks kind of like my room, except it isn't. And then one of the producers is going to take over her show because she wants to leave and do something else. They built her up, so now they own the show, and she has to leave and go start her name for herself somewhere else. Candace Owens, that's the other question here from Mary KK. She was already a name. All these people, they become a thing because they were on Fox News. Ben Shapiro, not on Fox News, doesn't have a hit show, wouldn't be able to put enough money into YouTube ad supported video stuff, promoted videos to build any kind of audience. They already drain millions of dollars a year on each of their hosts with the all the bullshit promoted stuff they're doing. But if it wasn't him being on Fox News so much, or being on CNN and antagonizing a trans person on purpose for clout, then he wouldn't be anything. That's all there is to it. Candace Owens, similar sort of shit. Get on Fox News, say something that will stick with people, that will make it memorable. Clay Travis, same thing. He was on CNN, said he only trusted two things: his dad and boobs or something. I remember the second one, and then the host was like, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Yeah, that's what I said." And it's like, well, hold up now. That's incredibly offensive. He's like, "No, I didn't." And then that's how you take off. You may not be able to repeat that anymore, because even the cable news groups where people are now tuning in to hear the things that they agree with are now widely irrelevant, with the people that blew up on those getting canceled in some fashion, or just outright doing their own podcast show, whatever, and network. So now they've effectively closed it off so that you can't repeat what they did to get anywhere. Thus, we're all screwed. All right. Did you see the first 10 minutes of Kraven the Hunter? Why would I watch the first 10 minutes? So you watched the first 10 minutes and said, nah, I'm dipping? Seems a little weird. I saw a TV spot for it during Thursday Night Football, I think. Not too concerned. I could see it bombing from a mile away. I'm hearing the press gets out. Like, I don't understand how they're able to get away with this. Like, it's projected to make even less money than Madam Web. Projected based on what? Like, now we have decided that the only thing that matters with movies is their advanced ticket sales. Like, if people didn't buy the tickets a week ahead, this movie must be a bomb, so don't bother seeing it, wait for it to come to Prime Video. Like, that's the kind of mindset they're trying to put in here. Release some damn movies that you can't do this sort of shit to. It's hurting the business. Oh, well, didn't you know Avengers Endgame made $1 billion before it even played in the US? Like, kind of shit like that. Oh, okay, I guess I have to go see it then. Make up a damn rumor. 28 years later, made $2 billion in England alone. Oh, shit. I heard it's good. We have to go see it. Like, do something like that. So, yeah, it's expected to do all, just tell people what to expect, and then they'll go do this shit. It's free, it's on YouTube. So they put the first 10 minutes out thinking, yeah, you'll want to go to the theater, sit for 45 minutes before the movie starts, watch 15 to 20 minutes of trailers, then another 10 minutes of something you already saw a day ago. Not the recipe to sell tickets, methinks. All right, so how long have we been streaming here? Is this going on too long? I feel like it has. Let's flip back over to this terrible view. If you're watching, I've got, let's see, am I pointing to him? Yeah, there's a name here. See, I'm on the Instagram and I'm on the Twitter. Except I could update that to an X, but I still like to call it Twitter. And then that's my name, my username, secured my name because no one else has it. Makes it pretty easy. Follow me on those things, and when I tweet out, links to my videos and shit, people might actually watch and might actually join the streams, and this might actually go somewhere. Or continue to not help. Like, I mean, Jesus, like, did anybody that's a member even come in tonight? See, that's the kind of shit I'm talking about, right? So, yeah, if you made it this far, wait until marriage. Counseling.